welcome back to the Late Night Gamer and turn 3 of War of the Rats, ASL starter kit number 1. Well, as per normal, I have to do some corrections, and these ones were pretty nasty last round. The first thing I want to correct is on this stack up here. So last turn these guys were attacked and they had to take a pin check, which they failed, so they were pinned. So instead of doing a pin check, they should have been doing a normal morale check, and they would have failed because they failed the pin. And not only that, this guy, the leader, failed so much that he would have to be quality reduced. The rulebook has this chart which talks all about quality reduction and what squads you will put in its place. For instance, the leader was an 8-0 leader, so the next in line would be a 7-0 leader, and then we go down to 6+1 leader. A 9-1 leader is reduced to an 8-1 leader. Also, the different nationalities have the same reduction chart, and we noticed already that the Russians are lacking second-line infantry units in this starter kit, so they will go directly from a first line to a conscript unit. But it's all laid out in the chart, so we will now have to pick out a 7-0 leader for the Russians and put a broken 7-0 leader in the place of Sergeant Evich. So Sergeant Evich is out of here, and Corporal Yusovich comes in his place, and he is broken. I will also break this squad because that's what happened. They got broken as well, and they will be desperate. Oh, they should be in G7, not in G8. So I'll move them right down here. No, they won't. They wouldn't do anything in the rout phase because they don't have to rout. So, and I would have elected them not to do routing. There are no enemies adjacent to them. So the other grave mistake I did was in this hex where some broken Russians tried to rally, and I only used 1 die for rallying them instead of 2. Of course they succeeded, which they shouldn't have. Afterwards, one of the units got eliminated, so I'm just going to let that roll. It's very tough to do something with that, I think. I can't go back and correct that. We just have to live with it, say that they actually managed to rally. And let's see if we can do everything more correctly this time. No guarantees though, no guarantees. Thank you for spotting it, and thank you for paying attention. Right, we are now in the rally phase, and the Germans are going to see if they want to rally some of their personnel. Yeah, they can still try to pick up the submachine gun, and I think they want to try to do that. It's the elite squad again that is going to try to pick up the Russian submachine gun here, and they will have to roll a die. And they will have to get anything but a 6. They will spend their entire rally phase doing this. Okay, let's see what they get. Yeah, barely. Okay, so they finally pick up that machine gun. Right, so the lead squad is now carrying a Russian machine gun and a demolition charge. They're using 2 of their portage points. And there's a first line squad also there carrying nothing. I think if you fire an enemy weapon, there's some penalties to it. Yeah. So firing an enemy machine gun has its rate of fire lowered by 1. That means it cannot retain the rate of fire. And it also has its break number lowered by 2. Right, I'm not sure I did it correctly when the squad was eliminated that carried that submachine gun. It was during close combat and not during an infantry roll. The rule says that if it's a roll on infantry table and the squad is killed in action, loses its machine gun, you have to do some checks to see if it's destroyed along with them or not. So I'm not completely sure I did that correctly. You can let me know if I didn't. Would appreciate that. So they have recovered their submachine gun. There's nothing that is broken that needs to be repaired on the German side, and then they won't transfer any equipment. They will just try to rally if they can. So let's have a look in the stacks. I don't think any of these guys have leaders, and there's no leader here as well. So that's a problem. They need to get their leaders down there. They can't rally any of the units except one that they can try to self-rally because they are the attacker, and they will. Which one? Must find a one. Yeah, I won't self-rally any of the units that are desperate because that is going to be much more difficult. That leaves up here in this building. I will try to self-rally the bottom squad here that is carrying this machine gun. So they have a morale of 7, and they will now roll 2 dice, and they will have a +1 modifier because they are inside a building. Sorry, that's a -1 modifier, of course. So let's see if they can rally. They cannot rally. So everything is still broken. And that's the major problem. That's a major problem for the Germans. The units are broken and they can't rally them. That's a bummer. So what about the Soviets or the Russians? Up here there is a leader that will try to self-rally. He's a 7 leader under a +4. No, it's not good. That is, he rolled a 7, so +4, and even with the negative modifier because of being inside the building, it doesn't help. So everything here is broken. Right here we have this leader that will try to self-rally. Morale of 7 inside the building. Under desperation morale, no, he got a 10. So he didn't rally. What else? What else? Oh, I forgot to repair this thing. I will do it now. It's this conscript squad that is carrying the machine gun. Can you see this? I don't know if this is visible, but the repair number is... where is it? It says R2. It means that I need to roll a die and get 1 or 2, then it's repaired. That's difficult. Oops. And if I get a 6, it's broken, it's gone, it's destroyed. A repair number of 2 is not good. That's going to be very tough. Yeah, not a chance. It's still broken. Right, okay, so that's it for the Russians as well. And now we can take off the desperation morale markers. If we want, and we do want to do that, when inside the building you have to take it off. These guys can elect to keep it, but that makes no sense, so they will take it off. And then the Germans will find out if they want to prep fire. Yeah, well... Yeah, they can now take out this unit with prep fire, and that will allow the Germans up here to almost safely walk across the road and into these buildings for assaulting them. There is only one guy that can stop them. It's this guy up here, and he has some line of sights, so he may take a shot. So they will fire with all they have here, I think. Firepower 4, firepower 5, that's 9, that's 11 with the LMG. Oh, okay, of course they will double their firepower because they are adjacent. So that is 22 actually. Right, and they are inside the building, the Russians, so they will have to, they will get a +3 modifier to the roll. But it's on a 20th column. Okay, I'm not sure how that went. They rolled a 10 actually. That's a that's a that's a bad roll, to put it the least. A 10 on the 20th column, +3. There's no other modifier. No. Oh, unbelievable. It's a miss. That's unbelievable. That's almost unbelievable that they can miss adjacent. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Question now if these guys should open fire. Oh man. Then they can't move. No. This is not good at all. Yeah, oh, they won't. They will move this round. They have to move now. They have to get out of these buildings. It's turn 2. No, well, they don't have to. But that's the plan. They will do that. So no prep firing from any more of the units. Okay, then G. Then we go into the movement phase, and now we're going to see some action. I'm absolutely sure. Now we must think about smoke. Smoke him, smoke him, smoke him. Yes, we will smoke. Yeah. So they have 6 movement factors moving in the leader. If they will spend 2 of those to try to lay smoke in this hex. Let's see what kind of units they are. They are first liner. Oh no, they should have been elite. There's no elite units up here. Oh, these guys are elite. Now I will have these guys here instead, the elite units here, because they have a much better chance of laying smoke. These are on the first liners, so they have a smoke factor of 1. These are elite units in here, and they have a smoke factor of 2. Smoke factor? I don't know. But the scenario ups that to 4. So these guys are going to try to lay smoke right here. And they will roll a die and get less than 4. And they do, they get a 1. So they managed to put smoke in G8. Having smoke in G8, yeah, that cost them 2 factors. They have, how many do they have? 6? So that's 4 left. They will move into the smoke for 2 because it costs 1 extra to enter smoke. And then they will move into this stone building for 2 more, and that is 4. So that should be okay. They should be able to do that. They go here. Will the Russians fire? They enter the smoked hex. Oh crap. So they laid smoke here, they entered it. Question is if these guys will fire or these guys will fire. It's a +2 hindrance, and now these guys will wait because they think that these guys also will move and they have a better chance of hitting them, unless they also lay smoke, of course. You never know, they probably will, right? But they'll wait. These guys will wait for them. Oh, they will move through here as well. Now they will take a shot. They're not moving in the open when they're moving through smoke. It's an hindrance. But that will still they get our first fire non-assault movement. So it's 4 on the 4 column. And there's a plus, and there's only +1. There's a -1 modifier because of the non-assault movement, but there is a +2 hindrance because of the smoke, so that is going to be a +1 modifier in total. And they rolled, well, they rolled a double 3, that's cowering, so they will actually roll on the 2, and 6 on the 2 plus something, that is a miss. They just missed the coward and they missed. And they have first fired, the Russians have first fired, and then the Germans will use the last 2 movement points to enter this building here. Setting up a close assault, of course, on these guys. Okay, so they have moved. Must remember that they have moved. What else? What else? Yeah, these guys are also going to move. Of course they are. They are moving out in the smoky area. Like this for 2 movement factors. Should this fire? No, they will wait and see what happens. They won't fire. They're hoping they come here so they can fire upon them right here. They will try to fire smoke here. And I know these guys are first liners, yeah. So they need a 1 on the die. They do not get a 1, they get a 3, so that's a failure to lay smoke, and they spend 2 movement factors. So then they will take the chance and move right here. Now these guys will for sure fire. It's movement out in the open, it's non-assault movement, and it's on the 8 column. And the Germans will hope that they cower. Well, they didn't cower, but they rolled very, very bad. They rolled a 9 on the 8 column. But with a modifier, that is actually a 7, and that is a 1 morale check for the brave Russians. Oh yes, for the Beverages it's on the 8 column because it's double. So perhaps that was not a good idea. Let's see. The leader will first take a morale check, and he has a morale of 9. He rolled a 6, actually, and that's a 7. So he did not break. No effect on him. The first liners will do the same. They have morale of 7, but the leader will help them now with a -2 modifier. It's a very good leader, this guy, huh? Oh, they rolled a 4. They don't break either. They don't break either. There is no effect from the Russian fire on the 1 morale check. So now these guys will move first. Yeah, the leader will go here. Try to rally these guys next turn. And the squad will just walk here. Yeah, he's afraid now. Oh, sorry. If he goes here, these guys can fire. So he will try to lay smoke. Let's try to do that. Why not? He needs a 1. Oh, he gets a 3. He fails. Should he move or not? That's a big question now. If he moves here, this guy will fire again, subsequent first fire, but they will fire then with half firepower. He will try. He will move. Of course, they will do subsequent first firing. I did a mistake now. I forgot the residual firepower. It should be residual firepower in this hex when these guys fire. It wouldn't affect this unit because they moved right through it. This unit would have to take a check when moved into the smoke and the residual firepower. He moved from G5, but instead he would have just gone here, 3, and out here. Something like this, okay. So these guys move here and they are subsequent first firing. Firepower is 4 because it's doubled and halved. It's movement out in the open and it's also non-assault movement. No. They rolled a 9 and then they will get -2 because of the movements. So that is a pin check. Okay, so they have to check if they're pinned. And morale of 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. They rolled an 8. Oops, so they are actually pinned. Bummer. Well, that's okay. That's another 4 columns, so they will leave 2 firepower residues in this hex and be marked with final fire. Alright, okay, so that was it. The Germans did pretty good. Yeah, it's only this elite squad here. Can he fire smoke inside the building? Think. Should be okay, no? Fill the building with smoke. Let's do that. Let's declare assault movement. Use 2 movement factors of the 4. Oh, can I do that? Yes, that's okay. 2 movement factors of the 4 to try to lay smoke here. So he needs to roll a 4 or less because he is an elite. He rolls 4, so that is good. He actually managed to lay smoke. I forgot that they have to pay more movement factors to move into the smoke. So that means that when they moved here, that's 2 because it's a building, plus 1 moving into smoke, that's 3. They used 2 already. That's a bummer. So they used all their movement factors for assault movement, so they are CX'd. Okay, but that's fine. They will do that anyway. And they will fire. The conscripts there are firing. So, they fire on the 8 column. They rolled a 6. I think that's a miss. 6 on the 8, and then we add a lot of modifiers, and that is going to be a miss. At the moment they have fired, and they did fire on the 8 column, so that will leave 4 firepower residues left here in this hex. They have first fired, and these guys have moved, and we are done with the movement phase. Yes. So after movement we will take off the residual firepower markers, and then it's yes, the Russians are going to fire if they can. So they can fire at adjacent enemies. with half firepower. So they will do that, of course. They have a little bit of chance now. It's still on the 8. No, it's on the 4 because it's halved and doubled. On the 4 column. And it's +3 because of the building. Ay, that's a 9. That's no way that's going to hit. That's just totally super missed. So they have finally fired. These guys can only, they may see these. I don't think they can see the people behind here because I think the corner here will clip the line of sight. Yeah, it will, of course, because the line of sight will follow these dots here, and yeah, they can't see anybody there. They will try to take a shot here at F8. From the bushes into F8. Now we check line of sight. No. It clips the corner in front here. So they missed that. So up here we have a squad. They can see here, but the range is only 2. So they will fire at half firepower, and it's inside the building. Yeah, well, what can we lose? We could just take the shot and see what happens, right? They fire on the 2 column. They are conscripts. And they roll a 5. 5 on the 2. And we add because of the building, so they missed. As expected, but it was worth it. I mean, come on, you have to take the shots when you can. Right, buddy. Okay, there are some guys here that can definitely see the same dudes in the building up there. They will take the shots. This guy, the guy here. Yeah, there's no question about line of sight here. It's not disputed by the German players, so they will fire into the building. +3 modifier because of the building. Stone buildings are good. They rolled like... So that's a super hit. No, it's not. It's a super miss. Yes, it's just horrendous firing. What have you been telling your man? And it's just terrible. What is the break number of the machine gun? It's 12, I guess. No, it's actually 11. So if you rolled one more, the machine gun would have broken. Pretty bad, my friend, pretty bad. Okay, there are bound to be some guys in here that can do something. Yeah, there's a broken machine gun squad. So they have a total firepower of 8. The range here is only 2. There's nobody... Oh, okay. Everybody will lay fire upon these guys because it's within range. Firepower 8. And it's leader directed. That's 8 on the 8. Normal morale check. Okay, so they will check for morale. Leader first. It's a 9 leader, so that's pretty good. He passes with flying colors. Not a problem. And then he talks to his squad, which has a morale of 5. No, a morale of 8. It's an elite squad. And there's no problem passing that check. That's the last version. I should mark it, but there's no more markers. And doesn't matter because the final fire phase is over. We are removing the markers. So now the Germans that haven't fired yet can fire their guns before they advance. And they will, of course they will. So there are some units here. It's interesting. Now, they will direct their advancing fire at the conscripts inside this building, trying to soften them a little bit before the attack. They have assaulting fire capabilities and a firepower of 5. Rounded down, that's 2.5. Rounded up, it's 3. Plus 1, it's a 4. So they are rolling on the 4 column. But it's going to be tough because the guys are in a building, right? So, yes, they rolled a 9. That's horrendous. I don't even have to check that. Total miss. Okay, I will take these guys, the pin guys, out in the open. They are firing with a firepower of 7. It's in the advancing fire phase, so they will round it down. 7 rounded down, that's 3.5. That's 3. And that's halved again because they are pinned. So that's 1.25. That's on the one column. So they will actually fire on the one column to see if they can get lucky on the one column. And they roll like, yeah, they cover and roll off the table, and it's just not working. No. Here they will try to do assault fire on the guys here in F7. Firepower is 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's only 3.5. That's on the 2 column. It's almost impossible, right? They rolled a 6. 6 on the 2 plus 3, it's a miss. And let's just remember that they have fired and have these guys fire inside this building. Assaulting fire. They can't use their heavy machine gun. 3, that's on the 4 column because of their assault firing capabilities. The leader is helping. Yeah, 4 column is not too bad. But they roll double 6s. So that's the worst that you can roll. So nothing happens in that fire phase. We just take off these. Right. Then it's the rout phase. No, they don't have any units out in the open that can be seen by other enemies. They have some broken units here, but nobody can see them. So they're good. They don't have to be marked with desperation morale marker. And these guys are inside buildings, so that's fine. And they're not adjacent to enemies. No DM markers come on the Germans. The Russians, yes, these guys are adjacent to a good ordered known enemy unit, so they will have to be marked DM. And that's it. No other units are out in the open and can be seen, so they will have to be marked with DM. And then they have to run away. They can't stand there, so they have to go. Oh, they are in trouble. They have to go to the closest building away from all the enemies. Yeah, I've been trying to read this now several times, and it looks bad for the Russians. It really does. So when they rout, they cannot rout closer to any good ordered enemy units that they know of, that they can see when they start. So this guy here doesn't matter because they can't see him because of this hex. So they could theoretically go out here if it wasn't for other things, but they can't see him, so he's not taken into account. What they can see though from this location are these guys. And they are both adjacent, so this unit must rout. There's no question, he must rout. And he can't go here. Let's just take that out of the picture right away. He cannot go here. Because that is going from one adjacent hex to another with the same unit, actually with 2 units, same adjacent hex, not possible. This is not possible, and this hex is not possible either, because there are enemy units there, right? Same thing with H7. That will be not farther away from this unit here, and it's even adjacent again, so this hex is also out of the question. And the same with this hex, because that will be adjacent again to the same good ordered known enemy unit he knows of from the start. Not possible. That leaves only this hex here. So he can go there. No, he cannot, because there is a good ordered known enemy unit here. He can see him right down the hex point. He can see this unit inside the building. He cannot go here. The Russians in the hex G7 cannot rout, and they are eliminated. That's a tough blow for the Russians. That's how I see it. If I see it wrong, please let me know, but they are eliminated. So theoretically they could use low crawl to get here and stop, but that will be closer, moving closer to a good ordered known enemy unit. Or actually they can't move closer to any unit even if it's broken. So yeah, the Russians are out of here. They just give up. I think they see Germans surrounding them. So the leader, it's the Corporal Jusevich. That was a short display from Jusevich. He takes his squad, first line squad, and says, I surrender. I surrender. I have no idea what happens to the machine gun. I will surrender it along with it, and let's say they destroy it before the Russians take it, before the Germans take it. I don't know. No, the Germans stay put. They just give up. They're out of here. Wow, that's a terrible blow for the Russians. That's a terrible blow. Yeah, that's the only route that is now going to happen. Nobody else is routing or running or anything. So the route phase is over and the Russians are in a predicament. I think they have just lost the scenario. I will see, of course, when they play out the scenario, but now it's looked very, very bad for them. It looks very, very bad, because now the Germans get to advance. These guys will advance into the hex here, initiating a close combat. Now, the Germans are going to you know, just, they are elite squads. They will advance into close combat, even though they're under CX. So they have a good chance of being ambushed. Okay, let's resolve this close combat first. So this is inside a building, so that is a possibility for an ambush. Then we're going to roll to see if there's ambush, and then we need to take a look at the units here. Anyway, let's check for ambush. The Russians get the red die and the Germans the white die. And well, they are conscripts, so they are inexperienced. They will have to take a -1 modifier for that, or a +1 modifier for that. But these guys are pinned. No, they are C-hexed. So they will have to take a +1 modifier to that, and to that as well. There is no leader, there's no pinned, so we will just have a straight roll now and to see which one wins. The Russians are the red die, and there is no ambush because the difference is only 1 even after the modifier. So there's no ambush. Then we have to calculate the odds ratio, and that's a 5-4. The attacker is, of course, there's a 1-1 attack here, so there's no need to declare the attack. And the attacker strength is 5, and the defender's strength is 4. So that is a 1-1 ratio. The kill number is 5. But this unit is CX'd, so it's going to take a +1 modifier on the roll. Now they rolled 11. That's not even close. The Germans are defending with a 1-2 odds ratio. It's not as good as a 1-1, it's a little worse, so it's a 1-2. The kill number is 4, but they get a +1 because, yeah, well, a -1 on the roll because the other guys are CX'd. No, they rolled a 9, so that's just 8. There is absolutely nothing going on there. They're in the same hex. Now the close combat switches to a melee, or a melee, so that they are staying there and fighting for the next round. Woo! Okay, up here, same thing. Well, more or less, everybody is attacking the conscript. First, there's a possibility for ambush. And in ambush, we get the leadership modifier of 2, actually. So that's a very, very good thing. And even more so, the Russians are inexperienced. The Russians are the red die, of course. Right. Interesting. Have a look at these. Both got a 4. The Germans will get a -2 because of the leader, so that's a 2. The Russians will get a +1 because they're inexperienced, so that's a 5. That is not more than 3, that's exactly 3, so there is no ambush. That was very close. Very, very close. No ambush. But the Germans are attacking on a 1-1. Because of this super leader, they will get a -2 on the roll. And on a 1-1 we know that the kill number is 5. Because whoa! Okay, interesting. They rolled a 6, the leader helps. So that's a 4. That's a hit, but they will get to defend, of course. And on a 1-2 the kill number is 4. They have to attack the entire squad. Because the leader, they could attack the leader alone if the leader was not attacking. But he is. And the Russians fail, absolutely fail. They got 7, but they are eliminated because they are killed by the close combat. Right, the Germans are on a roll, definitely. How can the Russians scramble to defend themselves? I don't know. The turn is over. The Russians get to reply instantly on their round number 3. That is next episode. See you soon. And yeah, keep playing games.